a hands up just for me to know that you're hearing me loud and clear. Oh, thank you so very much. Good afternoon, distinguished Nigerians across the globe. And I welcome you all to the Renewable Global Virtual Town Hall Conference. It's exactly 4 o'clock now when we are meant to start, because we still have a lot of people waiting in the waiting room. So I just need to seek your indulgence for a couple more minutes whilst we get everybody into the conference, then we'll start afresh. Thank you so very much for being part of this. And you're all welcome.
I've got a willingness to contribute positively to the well-being of my fellow citizen. As a Nigerian, I'm a provider, helper, listen to me. I try to listen to you. I'm a born winner and I cherish security. As a Nigerian, I'm a real Nigerian, born Nigerian, a resilient Nigerian. I live by the citizen's code. I live by the citizen's code. I'm a real Nigerian, accountable Nigerian, a caring Nigerian. I live by the citizen's code. I'm a real Nigerian, born Nigerian, a resilient Nigerian. I live by the citizen's code. I'm a real Nigerian, accountable Nigerian, a caring Nigerian. I live by the citizen's code. I'm a real Nigerian, accountable Nigerian, a caring Nigerian. I live by the citizen's code. I'm a real Nigerian, accountable Nigerian, a caring Nigerian. I live by the citizen's code. Moving Nigeria to greatness.
Brought to you by the National Orientation Agency, NOA.
Nigeria, where the Electoral Commission has declared Bola Tinubu president.
In the early hours on Wednesday, Bola Tinubu had been declared the winner of this election.
Mohammed of the APC, having satisfied the requirements of the law, is hereby declared the winner and is returned elected.
Day one, hit the ground running.
From day one, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu took some far-reaching decisions.
A dúpẹ́ torí pé Ọlọ́run jẹ́ kí a wà nínú ìjọba àwa ara wa. Inú mi dùn tí kì í ṣe pé bóyá àwọn ológun ló ń darí wa lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́ báyìí. Àgbọ̀nra wa yé. Ṣùgbọ́n nǹkan tí mo kàn wò pé yẹ kí n sọ tó ń dùn wá gan ni pé ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ àwa tá a jẹ́ aráàlú tá a sí ní ipò àwọn òṣèlú tó ga à ń jìyà gan.
I pledge to Nigeria, my country, being faithful and committed to the economic development and prosperity of every one of you.
To me, Mr. President is quite a transparent book, an open book that people can see. Whatever they see him do, that's what he does in private. But what he does more is that he studies more late into the night and reviewing things and going through files and trying to think about ways he can get things going on well for our people to deliver on the promises he has made to Nigerians.
We have to make sure this country stay on the right path to succeed on behalf of over 200 million Nigerians. We willingly accepted the appointment. I accepted the mandate of the people. On behalf of delegated some of these powers to you to serve the country.
Nigerians are very hopeful people, and my message would be to keep hope alive and to have faith in this government, to have faith in the president who has his eye on the ball. He knows where he's going. The road may be rough.
Nigerians, don't look back. Look forward. Be hopeful. Be assured that you have a country that cares about you, and you must care about the country.
I marvel at his genuineness and his desire, his depth of knowledge, and his capacity that shines through as to how to develop this country, and his love for Nigeria.
We will. We will turn it around. There's a very good bright light at the end of the tunnel. The tunnel of hope, stability, and successful economic prosperity. Education is the tool to fight against poverty effectively. We are determined to ensure education is given the proper attention necessary for the country, including skill development programs. This is to ensure that no one, no matter how poor their background is excluded from quality education and opportunity to build their future. We are here because we are all educated and we are helped. There are so many things that some of cynicals will say may be impossible. But in your dictionary of service, everything is possible and must be possible. We have the talent, you have the level of intellectual capacity to turn this country around. There are some countries that have failed. There are some countries that have succeeded. But in your time, in our time, in my time, all of us must work together to succeed. Thank you very much.
Oh, good afternoon, distinguished Nigerians across the globe. I welcome you all to this renewed Hope Global Virtual Town Hall Conference. My name remains Ambassador Joseph Kolaole Adebola. I'm going to be your host all through today, and I welcome you once again to this conference. But before we get the conference off the ground, can I please seek your indulgence for us to remain standing for a few seconds while we play our national anthem? Thank you very much.
Nigeria, we hail thee, our own dear native land. Though tribe and tongue may differ, in brotherhood we stand. Nigerians all and proud to serve our sovereign fatherland.
Thank you so very much for that. Though tribe and tongue may differ, in brotherhood we stand. And Nigerians will serve our fatherland. And talking about serving our fatherland, we have someone who has spent many years serving our fatherland, who is our special guest for today. So we will be meeting him in a short while. So in the meantime, I wish to once again welcome you to the Renewed Hope Global Virtual Town Hall Conference. Today's conference is yet another special edition with a special guest who, for the next 2 hours, will be engaging Nigerians across the globe on a special theme chosen for the day, which is titled Building a Prosperous Future, Nigeria-China Collaboration for Sustainable Development and Economic Diversification. So, my co-hosts for today are Honorable Jacob Ogunseye, Haji Rekia Bello Abakar, Honorable Udeme Ukwe, Ambassador Kairat Animashaun Ajiboye, Honorable Shegun Bayu, Alhaja Aulat Sule, and Barrister Tosi Olayinka, who will be assisting me in moderating today's conference to ensure a smooth and uninterrupted deliberation. This conference, as you all know by now, is always streaming live across social media, and especially on Ben TV UK, the first Nigerian African digital TV channel, headed by its CEO, Alistair Sherody, and on Diaspora TV in Switzerland, led by Honorable Mark Bamidele. Many thanks for you guys for supporting us always. Thank you so very much. And just looking through the conference room now, I can see as every week we keep getting new faces. Thank you so very much for joining us. And with the old people who always every week untiringly, they keep joining us. Thank you so very much. Towards the end of the conference, I will be acknowledging the presence of our leaders and our stakeholders who always join us from across the world. So in the meantime, on behalf of the team behind the Renew Hope Global, I welcome you all to this all-important session. On today's conference, we have in our midst the Lieutenant General Abdulrahman B. Dambazau, retired. He's the Nigerian ambassador to China. He will be engaging with us for the next 2 hours on the theme of today, which is Building a Prosperous Future, Nigeria-China Collaboration for Sustainable Development and Economic Diversification. So, to set the ball rolling for this virtual conference, please permit me to read out the profile of our special guest, Lieutenant General Abdulrahman B. Dambazau, retired. Lieutenant General Abdulrahman Bello Dambazau, retired, PhD, CFR, GSS, PSC, NDC, FWC, is one of Nigeria's most accomplished military officers, security strategists, criminologists, and public administrators with a distinguished career spanning military service, academia, government, and diplomacy. Born on 14th March 1954 into the renowned Dambazau family, he attended Barewa College, Zaria, before joining the Nigerian Defense Academy as a member of the 17th Regular Combatant Force. Commissioned into the Nigerian Army in 1977, he built an exceptional military career that saw him occupy several key operational, instructional, and strategic appointments, including military police officer, registrar of the Nigerian Defense Academy, chief instructor at the Infantry Center and School, directing staff, at the National War College, General Officer commanding 2 Division in Ibadan, and ultimately Chief of Army Staff from 2008 to 2010. Throughout his military service, he earned a reputation as an intellectual soldier, reformer, and institution builder whose contributions helped modernize training, strengthen military professionalism, and lay important foundations for Nigeria's counterinsurgency capabilities. What distinguishes Dambazau from many of his contemporaries is his remarkable academic pedigree. He holds a Bachelor of Science in Criminal Justice, a Master of Arts in Political Science, and a Master of Education in Higher Education and in Higher Educational Administration from Kent University, Ohio, United States, as well as a PhD in Criminology from the University of Kiel in the United States Kingdom. He also attended several prestigious military institutions, including the Nigerian Army School of Infantry, the Armed Forces Command and Staff College, Ghana Armed Forces Staff College, and the National Defense College in New Delhi in India, where he won the Colonel Payalal Memorial Gold Medal for the best research thesis. His scholarly work has earned him international recognition in the fields of criminology, victimology, counterterrorism, conflict resolution, and national security. And he has authored numerous books, research papers, and policy publications that continue to shape security discourse within and beyond Nigeria. Following his retirement from military service, Lieutenant General Dambazau transitioned into public service and national politics, bringing his extensive experience in security and governance to the civil arena. Between 2015 and 2019, he served as Nigeria's Minister of Interior under President Muhammadu Buhari, overseeing the Nigerian Immigration Service, Nigerian Correctional Service, Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps, and the Federal Fire Service. During his tenure, he championed reforms aimed at strengthening internal security, organizing immigration processes, enhancing border management, improving correctional services, promoting interagency collaboration, and introducing greater use of technology in identity management and passport administration. His leadership was widely recognized for emphasizing professionalism, institutional reforms, and evidence-based policymaking. An internationally respected authority on security and governance, Dambazau has served as a fellow and member of numerous professional organizations and academic institutions dedicated to peace studies, criminology, strategic studies, and democratic governance. He has participated in high-level international conferences and policy dialogues on terrorism, peacekeeping, regional security, migration, and conflict prevention, earning recognition as one of Africa's foremost security thinkers. His contributions to scholarship and public service have been recognized through numerous honors, including the National Honor of Commander of the Order of the Federal Republic, CFR, and Grand Service Star, GSS, the National Productivity Order of Merit, several distinguished alumni awards and military commendations, alongside the professional designations of Past Staff Corps, PSC, National Defense College, NDC, and Fellow of the War College, FWC. In 2026, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu appointed Lieutenant General Dambazau as Nigeria's Ambassador Extraordinary and Plenipotentiary to the People's Republic of China, entrusting him with advancing one of Nigeria's most strategically important bilateral relationships. Since assuming office in Beijing, he has prioritized strengthening economic diplomacy, expanding trade and investments, promoting cooperation in infrastructure, technology, agriculture, education, and security, while also placing significant emphasis on protecting the welfare and interests of Nigerians living in China. His early diplomatic engagements are focused on deepening the comprehensive strategic partnership between Nigeria and China, encouraging greater Chinese investment in Nigeria, and fostering stronger people-to-people and institutional ties between the two nations. Widely admired for his discipline, intellectual depth, strategic foresight, and commitment to national development, Lieutenant General Abdulrahman Dambazau embodies the rare combination of an accomplished military commander, a distinguished academic, a respected public servant, and a seasoned diplomat. His lifelong dedication to security, governance, scholarship, and international cooperation has established him as one of Nigeria's most influential statesmen, whose leadership continues to contribute meaningfully to national development and to strengthening Nigeria's engagement with the global community. Wow. Please join me, Nigerians across the world. Please join me in welcoming to our conference today, Lieutenant General Abdulrahman Bello Dambazau, retired, to the Renew Hope Global Town Hall Conference. Welcome, sir. So, like I said earlier on, our theme for today is Building Prosperous Future, Nigeria-China collaboration for sustainable development and economic diversification. So at this juncture is when we start like I said earlier on today is going to be a 2-hour non-stop interactive session with our special guest, who has assured us that he is ready for any question, because being a former military officer, you know, nothing faces people like that. So whatever questions you've got, please, let's have it. And let's start, because there's no presentation today. It's just going to be a one-to-one interactive session with our special guest. So anybody who has a question, please start to put your hands up now. You can use the hand emoji at the bottom of your screen to put your hand up. Because I will fire the first question to him, and after his response, we'll open the floor to our participants to begin to come up with their questions. But please make sure the question is relating to what we are discussing today. We will not be going outside the window of what we have. Again, for the records, let me remind ourselves that the theme for today is Building a Prosperous Future, Nigeria-China collaboration for sustainable development and economic diversification. So whatever question you have must be within the Nigeria-China collaboration. Is it beneficial to Nigerians? If not, why not? If it's beneficial, what have we been getting from it? Those are the kind of questions that we'll expect you to come up with. So please start putting your hand up now, because we have only 2 hours and we'll not be going beyond that 2 hours. We'll try as much as possible to take as many questions as we can, but once that 2 hours, the clock's 2 hours, that will be the end of it. So thank you so very much. So now, this is where I will just fire my questions. In order to give room for other people to be able to ask their questions, I'm just going to ask just one question, and I will yield the floor to, I will hand over to my co-host, who will then deal with the questions coming from the participants. So, Your Excellency, sir, my question normally revolves around the theme for the day. So, because we are discussing building a prosperous future for Nigeria and China collaboration, in their collaboration for sustainable development and economic diversification. So my question therefore is, can you please give Nigerians across the globe an overview of what the Nigeria-China bilateral relationship for sustainable development and economic diversification, what does it mean? What are the advantages for the country and the populace? So that's my question, sir. So you have the floor now, sir. I'm not sure if he's been unmuted. Yes, you've been unmuted, sir. But we can't seem to hear you. Maybe you need to click on the audio at the bottom of your screen, sir. We still can't hear you. I don't know what the problem is. You are unmuted, I'm sure. So the question is, maybe perhaps on your system, there's something you need to Well, no, we still can't hear you, sir. Because it's showing me here that you've been unmuted. So perhaps maybe there's a button that you need to press there, sir. I don't know if our own in-house engineers can help out with this. We still can't hear you, Your Excellency. I'm not sure exactly what the problem is now. Maybe the network from Nigeria's end or something. Sorry, this is China, right? Okay, maybe from your end, sir, in China. So see what I can do from here.
Ambassador, sir, do you know
Yes,
the
sir.
name that he joined with so I can check and unmute?
So what?
Which name to look for to unmute? Or
It's Baraday's iPad.
Okay.
That's the one next to you. It shows that it's been unmuted. So I don't know what the problem is. And he's a co-host as well. So, and he has already unmuted himself. Okay. No, this network sometimes has it's got a mind of its own sometimes. This is a shame, man.
I can see that iPad is on mute already.
Yeah. And I can see him.
Another one. There's another one. Aisha Dambazau. That's another one. Aisha Dambazau.
Dambazau, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me ask to unmute on the other one as well. Your Excellency, sir. If you
Aisha
can.
Dambazau isn't his login.
Hello.
It's just Baradi's iPad.
Oh, okay. I think it has to do with the audio over there, probably the audio flow.
Yeah. Aisha Dambazau. I've just asked Aisha Dambazau to unmute too. Maybe if he can. I don't know if the proximity of.
He's not there, sir.
Okay.
Maybe when you log in, it asks whether you're dialing in with cellular or data, something like that.
Yes, something
Maybe
like
it's from that. For
And
the
again,
audio.
And again, because it's calling from China, they can be a bit funny with their network. Wow. This is a shame, man. Your Excellency, we're not sure exactly what is going on here.
Good afternoon, Ambassador. Is it possible for His Excellency to log out and log back in? Maybe that will clear any cache or anything that is the issue.
That will be fine.
Okay, Your Excellency, is it possible for you to log out and log back in again? Maybe that will resolve the issue, sir. You can log out now and log back in again. Because I can see he's done everything possible to, and it's just not happening. I think it's probably logged up now. Yeah, it's logged up now. Yeah, I can see His Excellency has logged up now. So we're waiting for him to log in again. So maybe that will rectify the issue for us. Again, this technology sometimes, it's got a mind of its own, they tend to behave ultra-wire to, whatever it is we want it to do. So let's just, I just need to plead with us to be patient for a couple of more minutes. I'm sure since he's logged out, he will log in again. And hopefully that will solve the issue for us and we can get the conference started.
Now, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes,
can you hear me?
Okay. That's good. Apologies for the earlier, sir. So do you want me to do you want me to repeat my question, sir?
Yes, please.
Okay. Now, my question to you is just centered around the theme for today, which is that we're talking about Nigeria-China bilateral relationship for sustainable development and economic diversification. So I'm just asking for an overview of what that means in terms of either progress or otherwise for the country and for its population. Can we say it's an advantage? If it is, what are the advantages? And if there are challenges, what are the challenges? And what do you think we can do to overcome those challenges? And most especially, is it beneficial to Nigerians? So those are my questions, sir.
Okay. First, I want to thank you and your team for having me on this program. And I want to say that this is a good development because of the need for people to understand that the appointees of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu are active and mostly are doing the right thing.
Yeah.
And yes, so I also want to appreciate the fact that the president appointed me as ambassador to China. And I believe that it was a deliberate effort because when he called me in November last year to inform me about this appointment, he also specifically mentioned to me things he feels that he wants me to do to emphasize while here. Having said that, as you know, Mr. Chairman, that the relationship between Nigeria and China started way back in 1971. That is diplomatically. That's about 55 years ago, February this year. But even before then, China and Nigeria had been involved in trade relations as far back as 1957. So this relationship has historical antecedents and has been long enough for us to answer your question, whether there are advantages, whether there are challenges, and whether there are benefits. And of course, for every such relationship, there are advantages, there are challenges, there are benefits. But what is important is who gets what, who gets more, and who gets less. Certainly, China is more advanced in terms of technology, in terms of agriculture, in terms of all facets of national development. It's more advanced. China has a population that is probably 7-8 times the population of Nigeria, and with a huge territory. But of course, too, comparing our size with China as an African country, we also, comparing our Nigeria and other African countries, with the largest population in Africa. So we will say that also that is an advantage to us, that population-wise. China and Nigeria, I wouldn't say it's a skewed relationship, because every country has a focus on what it wants to gain in such a relationship. So I wouldn't say that, I would say that disadvantage, Nigeria is a disadvantage, not in the negative sense, but because of the stance of the two countries, like I've mentioned earlier, in terms of the development, in terms of size, in terms of, its status as a world power. China is a world power, a global power, a member of the United Nations Security Council. And so if you look at that relationship, of course, you know that it's no relationship of equals in terms of all these indices I mentioned. But in terms of, two countries together, yes, the United Nations recognizes that all countries are equal in a sense, politically. But we know that equality in the sense of strength is not the same. So what are we trying to look into this relationship? Of course, we want this relationship for Nigeria to gain from the experience of China in its development. The development of China as it is today happened in less than 40 years. So why is China so developed in less than 40 years? China 40 years ago, let's say maximum 50 years ago, was in a nation that had very high poverty rate, a nation that was not technologically developed, a nation that did not have the infrastructure it has today. So how did it do? So Nigeria can learn from the experience of China. Secondly, also that in terms of managing population, we know that Nigeria has very high population, like I said, when you compare to other African countries. And in fact, by UN projection, Nigeria is set that by 2050, Nigeria will double its population to over 400 million. Of course, China today, population is about 1.4 billion. Yeah. Yes. So, but you find that how did China manage that? How does China manage this population? And what can Nigeria learn from China in managing its population? So I believe that this is something that we take into consideration. And of course, too, in terms of diversity, China also has a population that is diverse, just as Nigeria. We are looking at, ordinarily when we look at China, we see same faces in terms of physical, structure. But in China has about 50 ethnic groups, and has over 300 dialects. So how is China able to manage this diversity? So I believe Nigeria can also learn how China managed this diversity in order to progress. Because you look at Nigeria today, one of the challenges we have in Nigeria today is the issue in our inability to manage the diversity. One, we quarrel over religion, inter or intra, religious, conflicts. We quarrel over ethnicity. So person is from so tribe, so person is from so tribe, and so on. So these are challenges that we should be able to see. I'm not saying that China doesn't have issues, social issues like that, but to a very large extent, you don't hear about it. It's very minimized. It doesn't stop their progress. Anywhere you see them, you cannot differentiate. So how does China able to manage this diversity? And I think it's something that we need to learn from. But I think overall that up to this point, I believe that we've had a very stable relationship with China, and I believe that we have quite a lot to do, and it's progressing, particularly, after the last trip of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu in 2024, whereby, this idea of comprehensive strategic partnership between Nigeria and China, was established. So I believe that there's quite a lot we can do. Both sides we have advantages and disadvantages, but ours is to look at what are we going to gain in terms of that. No matter how close the relationship is, the other side is not likely to take care of your interest as you will take care of your own interest. So on our own side, what are we going to do to gain more in this relationship, to have more benefits, as you mentioned, in this relationship? What are the challenges do we have in these relationships? Of course, we have quite a few challenges that we need to look at, through this relationship to see how we can resolve these challenges and deal with them so that we make a lot of progress in this relationship. Like I mentioned, we have quite a lot to gain from China. Since my arrival here 6 weeks ago, I've seen it. So it's left for us now to sit down and look at it strategically and see where we're coming from and where we are going. What is our focus? And it's very, very clear. So this is my response to your question, Chairman. Thank you very much.
Thank you so very much, sir, for that deep analysis of our relationship with China. One thing that struck me from your response is the fact, which I never knew until now, that apparently China has more dialects than Nigeria ever had, and they have more ethnic groups, about 50. That's strange. I never knew that, because all along I thought there were just one language and and that's it. So you see, I think that this is one of the things that I cherish this program for, because every week we learn new things about either Nigeria or other countries that we have association with. So that for me is a new one, and I think thank you for that, for bringing that up, because I'm sure other people too will be surprised as I am regarding this, because I in all my years I never thought that there's any other country that has more ethnicity and more dialects than Nigeria. I thought we were the real McCoy, but now show that. So which means if China can manage their differences, then it begs the question, why can't we manage ours? So I think that's the crucial thing that I think in the years to come, it will be a study for so many of our scholars to try to find a way of, the kind of formula that, that we can use to get that good. Because the moment, because in my view, if Nigeria can try to manage our differences, because everybody's been saying it, that there's more that unite us than that divide us. So if we can just find that niche, I think we'll be okay. So thank you very much for that. I think now I'm gonna be going to the participant, but then that will be the job for my co-host to do. So I just need to tell all our participants, we've got all the 3 hands up, and we need more of you guys to come up with the questions. This is time for you to have an interaction. I've said that in my statement this morning, that today is going to be a 2-hour long interactive session with our special guest, because unlike other people, he said, no, he's not going to do any presentation. He wants to be open. You know, it's not him just talking to us. He wants an interaction between, between participants and himself, so that if you have any questions, this is time for you to bring it out so that he can then respond to it. So let me, I'll have to yield the floor to Alhaji Adams to act as my co-host for today. Alhaji Adams, you have the floor now. You can just take two questions at a time, and yield the floor to special guest. In case if you have any other question that has been thrown to us from our participants, you can add that into. So you have the floor now, Alhaji Dauda Adams.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Chairman, and good welcome to General Abdulrahman Dambazau. Thank you for accepting our invitation. All right, I'll be calling two people. The first person I'll call is Isaac Udontong. Udontong, Isaac, can you unmute yourself, please? Isaac.
I've asked him to unmute, so.
Okay. No, okay. Shall I go on? I've got a question as well. So if I can add that.
You can. Then maybe we'll go back to him later on.
Okay, thank you, Ambassador. My questions is relating to product standard and consumer protections. There's a widespread perception that the quality of products exported by China varies across different regions, Western regions, Europe and America, compared to what is in the African market. So what steps are Nigerian and ECOWAS region and China taking to ensure that the electrical and electronic products imported into Nigeria, including solar panel, inverters, batteries, air conditions, and household appliances, meet the international recognized quality and safety standard? So is there a plan to strengthen enforcement through Nigerian or regional certification? Thank you, Ambassador.
I thank you very much, Mr. Adams. I think there's already an institution or a platform. That's the Sun SON that has the responsibility. That's Standard Organization of Nigeria, right? That has the responsibility to examine every product that comes into Nigeria or even leaving Nigeria to ensure that that product, meets a minimum standard. And I think that is their responsibility to do. And to some extent, too, the Nigerian customs also, has overlapping responsibility on that. I believe that particularly now, we need that now more than ever because you know that China recently, offered zero tariff. It has a zero tariff policy, which she offered to 53 African countries, Nigeria inclusive, whereby products from Nigeria can be imported into China with zero tariff. The reason for that is China realizes that there's trade imbalance between Nigeria and African countries generally. So under this forum on China-Africa cooperation, which is called FOCAC, it came up with this zero tariff. The effort is, the aim is to be able to reduce this trade imbalance. And, but you know that countries will have to certify, meet certain standards of importation. And I believe that before anything is imported into China, just like things go into Nigeria, there has to be some certification. And I believe that this is an area the Standard Organization of Nigeria should be involved. And because of this zero tariff policy, before I left Nigeria, one of the strategic meetings I have, so in terms of strategic engagement, was to go and meet, call on the custom boss to discuss some of these issues. And one of those issues I discussed is this issue of zero tariff, particularly on agricultural products, because some of these products, if you don't facilitate the process of exporting them, they get spoiled. And so I also, urge him to do everything possible to ensure that these products are not delayed in the ports. They should be, they should facilitate so that they will be exported. But most importantly is that these products, once they're given certification by a standard organization and the customs, they have minimum delay of entry into China. Likewise, I believe that this should be, it's reciprocal. This should be the same thing when China is importing goods into Nigeria. And of course, that that most of the imports China, imports from Nigeria, it's oil and gas and solid minerals and so on and so forth. And this is an area, in fact, we were looking at to see that we alter this imbalance in trade. So the quality of the goods that are imported would depend on the receiving the policy of the receiving countries in terms of verification, certification, and so on and so forth. If a country allows goods of lower quality to get into its territory, then it's that people always try to take advantage. They look at how much enforcement is available in a country. They look at gaps created in a country, and this is what they do to take advantage in order to import goods that are of low standard. But if a country maintains high policy, a policy that ensures that such importation, are not undermined by people who are unpatriotic, people who are, really making efforts to make quick money by, importing goods that probably would be harmful to citizens, then they take advantage of that. And I think China here, I know that they are very, very deliberate on that. They make sure that, there are laws. They don't play with laws, rules and regulations here. They don't. So I expect that we in Nigeria, we must do the same thing. We must not, allow anybody to, violate the rules of importation, because once that is open, then you give room for all kinds of junks to get into Nigeria. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, Ambassador. Right, I'm going to call another two before I go back to our VVIP for answering. Well, it is our policy here, please. If you haven't got your name for identifier, could you please go and change the name? We don't accept a device name. Yeah, please. Right. Okay, I'm going to go to Isaac Udantong. Are you there? Isaac? Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, the floor is yours. Thank you.
Okay. Let me unmute. Okay. Are you hearing me?
Yeah, we can.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. You mentioned China managing 50 ethnic groups and 30+ dialects. how does China approach? How does China's approach to infrastructure development differ from what Nigeria is currently doing?
Is that your question?
Yeah.
Okay.
My question is, how does China's approach to infrastructure development differ from what Nigeria is currently doing?
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you very much. Can I go ahead?
Sir, do you want to take that, or should I move to the second person to ask so we can, because of the time, just to manage the time?
Okay. All right.
Okay. I'll call on Ibrahim. Ibrahim, could you please unmute yourself? Ibrahim?
Sir.
Right, could you unmute yourself? Ibrahim? Can you hear me?
Good afternoon. I can hear you.
Okay, thank you. Can you go ahead with your questions or comments, please? Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. I want to appreciate His Excellency for joining us this afternoon. My question goes thus. We've been hearing of the foreign transaction currency that has been signed during the reign of President Buhari, that Nigeria is going to be making use of China yuan for foreign transaction with China. Has it been in effect or not? Yes or not? Or if it has not been in effect, when is that going to be? Or how is Nigeria working towards that? Because it is not me as a person, I'm not interested in this dollar of a thing that if you want to transact with any other foreign country, we have to make use of dollar. So I would like to know if we've been making use of China or our government is working on that. Thank you very much, sir.
Okay, thank you, Your Excellency. Then you can go ahead and answer those questions, please. Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you very much. I think the first question has to do with how does China development of infrastructure differs from that of Nigeria? Well, from what I have seen here or from engagements I've had here, is that China works on 5-yearly development plan. And within those plans, and we used to have that plan, and within that plan, a particular plan, they have things that they want to do in terms of infrastructure. And they ensure that they budget for those projects in order to ensure that they do them. And I think this is what they do. And once they identify an infrastructure, to do that, since there is plan for it, becomes easy. But of course, too, China's developmental plan is divided into regions, I believe. There are about 6 or 7 regions which they do, and they follow that strictly. And each region has its own, development plan, which is, centrally coordinated by Beijing. But also, we also need to know that the major construction industries in China are owned by the state. The government owns them. The major construction, they're like the CCECC we have in Nigeria, is state-owned. It's not private. But they also, send them out, to various countries in order to, secure contracts for the state. But major construction firms are owned by the state. So I believe that they based on their plan, they follow up with infrastructural development in whatever capacity. So for Ibrahim, the issue of currency swap is part of the comprehensive strategic partnership we have in China. And this currency swap is still on. It's part of what still need to be implemented. It's the under the financial monetary cooperation, I believe. So it's part of the principles of the 6 principles of this comprehensive strategic partnership, and I believe it's still very on. Thank you.
Thank you, Ambassador. Right, I'm going to call on Mustafa Musa Ali, and then after that, Tope and the Mustafa, could you please unmute yourself? 2 minutes per question, please, or comments, so we can have time to go through all the questions. Mustafa Musa Ali, could you please unmute yourself?
Good evening.
Good evening. Thank you. We can hear you.
Thank you so much, Your Excellency. My name is Mustafa Musa Ali from Purakano, Nigeria, currently based in Nanjing City. My question is that as a Nigerian who passionate about diplomacy and international relations, I would like to ask questions regarding to like the Nigerian Chinese economic partnership with China in areas such as trade, investment, technology, and industry development. I believe Nigeria can learn from China development experience and adopt successful strategy to reduce poverty, creation opportunities for millions of people. Hello, can you hear me?
We can hear you.
Yes, can hear you.
Yeah, and create opportunities for millions of Nigerians and build strong global reputation for Nigerians. That is my question.
Okay,
thank you.
Can I move to Tope Andy, please? Could you unmute yourself?
Yes, good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon, Ambassador. Good afternoon, Hope team. Thank you so much for this opportunity, and thank you for bringing us to have access to the ambassador. Yeah, my name is Tope Ande. I'm the president and founder for She Farmers Initiative. I'm also the PRO for Nasima Export Trade Group. So I'm going to be speaking on behalf of MSMEs in Nigeria. Number 1 on protection, then number 2 on importation of technology. The very first one on protection is ambassador. So I don't know how you can help us close the gaps in our country as regards trade and protection of intellectual property. I want to give you an instance. You know, Adire is native to us here. Adire, that's native to Abeokuta or Osun, our native fabric where we designed. So we noticed that in recent times, the Chinese people, because they have access to our markets, you know, they fabricated, they also produced Adire with a low quality material in commercial quantities. They printed and they flooded our market, you know, with Adire, you know. And for me, I think that's theft of intellectual property of Nigerians, indigenous entrepreneurs, particularly the women. So I'm looking at how can the country do better to actually close the gap in the area of trade protection for our country and our MSMEs. Then the second one is being a farmer myself, sir. I realized that we need to import technology for us to reduce post-harvest losses. We have a lot of our farmers that lost, I mean, virtually almost 30 to 40% of annual production because of lack of technology in the addition, in value addition. So I'm looking at, I want to indulge and appeal to Ambassador, if you can create an enabling environment for our people to come on mission, a strategic mission with companies in China that you can help us facilitate the availability of these machines in a very affordable and a competitive price for our farmers. Let me give you an instance. For instance, onions in Nigeria is usually Nigeria is about the second producer of onions in Africa. and we still import about $435 million of dry onions from outside. And if we can just have access to this line of value addition for onions, I mean, we can sell our onions and cover that $400,000 trade gap. We can supply the dry onions rather than importing from out of this country and from other regions. So for me, I think our help, sir, is how, for you to help us. For you to help us, how can we access these machineries, implements, and also maybe we don't want to be permanently importing. How can we have our fabricators in Nigeria here go for some technical understanding, technical knowledge, training, whether 6 months, 1 year, and see how they can also come up with machines here instead of us importing if it's expensive to import. For instance, we want to thresh soya, we want to dehusk corn. Those machines should be easily manufactured in Nigeria here. And we thank God for all the renewed hope initiative of Mr. President, particularly in the area of steel production. I know a lot is in view that can align with your mission over there, sir. So my appeal is, how can you get our people, particularly those fabricators, those in manufacturing of this implement, if they can go for training, learning that can improve their production so that Nigeria can also get to that level of producing and manufacturing machines that can make our value addition easy. Thank you so very much, sir. Thank you. That's my question, sir, and my appeal.
Thank you very much, Tokwe, for that very deep market knowledge. So I hand over to Ambassador now to respond to those 2 questions. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you very much, Mustafa and Tokwe. I believe that these questions are apt. These questions are very relevant in terms of our relationship with China. The issue of trade, I've mentioned earlier on that even China herself recognized that there's trade imbalance between not only Nigeria, but almost all the African countries. And that's why they introduced this idea of zero tariff policy. But beyond that, even with zero tariff policy, what is it that from Nigeria we will import that will raise the amount of funds Nigeria will realize through trade? What is it? For now, we rely on agricultural products. But of course, one of the things we are pushing here in terms of trade, in terms of technology, and so in our relationship, is that we want, and of course, Mr. President also mentioned that we want to see a Nigeria moved from a country of, exporting raw materials to a country that produce goods, for export. And this is my emphasis here as an ambassador. Wherever I engage these companies or manufacturers and so on, the emphasis is that, look, we have to shift ground. And also it's part of the comprehensive strategic partnership we have with China. We have to shift ground. We don't want a situation whereby they just come, pick raw materials, move it to China, process them, turn them into goods, and also we buy them. No. We want a situation whereby they come in, we have the resources. This is an advantage we have that probably tend to take for granted. Nigeria has huge amount of natural resources. And of course, what we lack is the technology in terms of exploring them, in terms of processing them, and in terms of turning them into manufactured goods. So this is where we should be able to create the balance. Yes, we have these resources. We don't have the capacity to explore them. Come, explore them. We give you land, set up companies, we use those companies to process those resources. Also, those resources, after processing them, turn them into goods that will go into the markets. With this, to answer your question, Mustafa, that will create employment in a very, positive way. It will create employment. It will also reduce, by creating more jobs, we're also reducing poverty. So, and by also establishing these industries, we're also in a way transferring technology. So I believe that this is the way to go. We must make a shift. And like I said, China also acknowledged this. It's part of the comprehensive strategic partnership. So we have to shift from, just a country whereby we move raw materials out and bring in end products. No. The more raw materials are there, you come, explore them, establish a company, process them, and turn them into whatever goods they are meant to be. And let me give you an example. I visited a factory that manufactures electronic vehicles a few weeks back. And one major thing they require, and they know they acknowledge that we have it in abundance in Nigeria, is lithium, the mineral lithium. And lithium is required for the production of batteries. So where currently there are some of Chinese companies that are in Nigeria processing lithium, but we want that to go beyond processing. In Nasarawa State, we have huge factory processing lithium, but we want it to go beyond processing. We want that company to produce batteries, whether solar batteries, whether car batteries that will be used for these vehicles, so that Nigeria becomes a hub of production of, lithium batteries in Africa, not only in Africa. Even this lithium battery can be sold to Europe and other countries. So this is the kind of push we're making. Of course, this is related to what the question or the appeal Tope made in terms of protection of intellectual property. Yes, this is an issue that I believe that all hands must be on deck. Part of the problem is our own people. I believe that we need to acknowledge that fact, because so people, Chinese businessmen will not act alone without the collaboration of Nigerian businessmen. That is a fact. And also, I have mentioned the issue of adherence to our rules and regulations. If we have strict adherence to our rules and regulations, intellectual properties will be protected. But of course, we have we're in a situation of whereby emphasis has been on free trade across nations. Even in West Africa, we have this ECOWAS protocol on the free movement of goods, services, and people. We have that. So the emphasis is, but one disadvantage we have now is the issue of power, electricity, because the production of these goods we are talking of, because of lack of constant electricity or dependable electricity, they come with very high costs. And so they cannot compete with goods that are brought in from other countries. So they become more expensive. So this is an issue, and I believe that like His Excellency President Bola Ahmed Tinubu said, the need to get our, this power sector right is necessary. And I'm happy that he appointed Joseph Tegbe, Chief Joseph Tegbe, as the minister. I believe, he would add value to that, but we need to get this power sector right, because if we don't get it right, production becomes very expensive. Production becomes very expensive, and so we cannot compete with imported goods, because there's issue of free trade too. Some of this we have to, give that leverage. We have to allow some goods to come in. Also, if we follow the rules and regulations, and whereby we find that, for instance, the adre you talked about, whereby somebody pick adre the same, probably the same style of what do you call it, and then take it to China from Nigeria and produce the same. Yeah, you can challenge that even, in court. You can challenge that. And if you probably suspect that in advance, and you mention it to the authorities that are relevant to this, I'm sure something will be done. But I know it's a problem to our small and medium scale industries, the SMEs, enterprises. It's a serious issue. The issue of fabrication, yes, I agree with you. We're talking of transfer of technology. I tell you what, going back to the industry, EV industry, I visited some few weeks back. They started that industry in 1958 with Mercedes-Benz. And they were telling us the history. And gradually, through reverse engineering, they were able to copy, observe, and turn things around. Now they are selling better than Mercedes. And I believe that this is something that we should also look at. It's not just them coming to establish industries, but we should also be able to, import. We also will be able to ensure that we fund our research and development in order to deal with this. Yes, thank you.
Okay, thank you, Ambassador, for that eloquent answers. Can I yield the floor to our Ambassador J.K. Adebola, please?
Oh, thank you so very much, my able Alhaji Adams. It's just a short announcement, because, like I said earlier on at the beginning of the program, that when some of our VVIP joined the conference, I will be announcing their participation. So I'm happy and delighted to announce to Nigerians across the world that the Chief of Staff to the President has joined the conference. It's no other person. It's like I said, they don't come any bigger than this, unless you are the President, of course. It's Right Honorable Femi Gbajabiamila, CFR. He was here. I think he joined us 2 weeks ago just to support our special guest, and he's joined again today to support our special guest. So thank you so very much, sir, for always being there for us. Each time you join us, gives us the boost to let us understand that, yes, that I think Nigerians across the world are beginning to understand that now we have, more than ever before, we now have a government that is very receptive to the yearnings of Nigeria. We have a government who is always wanting to feel the pulse of our people, and that is what you represent, sir. So for that, we remain eternally grateful to you. Thank you so very much for always having our back. Thank you so very much for always coming to support our special guests, and for that, we remain grateful. God bless you, sir. Thank you very much. So back over to you, Alhaji Adams. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, sir. Ambassador J.K. Adebola. Now I'm going to call on the Deacon Elite and and Honorable Nuruddin. Please, can you be quick with your questions or contribution for 2 minutes, only because we've got a lot of hand raising and we've got only 40 minutes left. Thank you.
All right, thank you for giving us the floor. My name is David Adesanya. I represent the Daikon Elite Manufacturing Limited. This is just to add to what Ambassador has just said regarding transfer of technology. I'd just like to give a background story. We import a lot from China in the military industry, the drones, firearms, and military hardware into Nigeria for the armed forces. Over the years of 20 years plus, we realized that our partners in China always want us to have the roller coaster, keep buying from them. When we discuss issues of partnering, long-term collaboration in terms of full transfer of technology, we see there's a reluctancy in that regard. We've signed the MOU with some of them, but when it comes to implementation, we start having issues dragging feet. Mr. President was also able to give us amended the Daikon Act 2023. So few companies were selected to have full partnership with Ministry of Defense under Daikon supervision to go in partnership with full OEM technical partners across the globe in producing locally, because we made it clear to our partners that we can't keep importing into Nigeria and you are having no value to our economy. You want us to keep buying from you. What value are you bringing on board to our Nigerian economy? Because we are about Nigerian first. How can we make sure that whatever we're doing, we put our nation first before self-interest? Ambassador, sir, my question is direct. Are there any companies you visited? I know you have just been there for 6 weeks, sir, if I'm correct, that are looking just beyond procuring. How can Nigerian companies acquire full Chinese technology and technical know-how from Chinese companies that are ready to partner with us without having the roller coaster of us buying only from them? Yes, there are some requirements they want us to meet. Either they're giving us some minimum requirements, minimum placing order, or 2 years or 3 years order before they come in on board. Is there any, second question, sir, is there any desk, sir, within the embassy that can also help us to process or facilitate negotiations between companies in China and companies in Nigeria that are in that defense industry, sir? Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you. I will now call on Honorable Nuruddin. Please, could you please unmute yourself and ask your question or make your contribution? Thank you.
Thank you, Professor. Good afternoon, House, and thank you for having us here once again for this special edition. My question goes as follows. One, regarding technology to Africa from China, as we all know, I'm based in the Gambia, but presently now in Germany. I came for a seminar and also some networking program. We've discovered over the years now that China is leading in technology. We give it to them, it's a go. But we have lots of, we from Nigeria particularly, that spread all over the world, across the world, West Africa part of the world. And we are very good also when it comes to assembly or producing technical device. Like I am specialized on air condition. I can assure you that alone myself, I can dismantle a whole car and I can assemble it back. I can produce a compressor if I have the tools to do that. But the reason why we left Nigeria is because we are not being recognized, I may say. Now we have the government that is listening to us, that is trying to give us a platform that we can all come on board to do something that can also bring Nigeria to the top of the world. But we still need more to be done. I appreciate the audience of the ambassador yesterday, and we still calling for more other ambassadors like Vietnam, some powerful Asian countries that are very good in manufacturing equipment. We need our ambassadors there to help us see how they can access to. It's not only China that is producing. It's just that China is leading, but there are so many other Asian countries that are willing to share technology. I may say, with what this president brothers just said, China is not ready to share technology. They are just trying to sell it to us, and we don't need that. We cannot keep shipping to Africa. We can also produce. We can produce air condition on our own. Everything that the world is producing as of now, we can repair it in Nigeria. We just see EV vehicle coming up and we can easily repair it, and we don't even go for IT training, or there's no some There is nothing. They don't give us no upgrade in technology. They are just selling it to us. And it's damaging our environment, and we are not getting paid for it. So we still need more to be done in terms of technology to Africa, especially Nigeria. West Africa region alone, we have big market. Everybody buys from Nigeria. We have lots of cargo freight from Lagos to other parts of West Africa. Yet we are not shipping enough to West Africa region, and we are not even producing enough for our local market purpose of exporting. So in this aspect, I will be putting it directly to the ambassador if it's okay for them to help us see how they can share a cooperation partnership with China, that they can come, and I know it's not going to be easy because we are not seeing China ready to do that for us, but with the other ambassadors in the sub-region of the Asia countries, we have lists of countries that they are willing to give us partnership, but we need our federal government to stand out for us, we technical people on the ground, because this is the only way they can impact the life of the poor people and they can change the country. Because China right now, if you are a technical person, you can produce something, that means you have a future. Without going to school or not going to school, you are already rich because you can assemble something, you can produce something. We need that platform in Nigeria in order to recognize the effort of low-class people that are talentedly gifted to produce something. And that will change the narrative of where we're going for future Nigeria. Thank you. That's my question.
Thank you, Honorable Nuruddin, for that question. I will now yield the floor to our Ambassador Dambazau to answer those two questions. Thank you, sir.
Hello, Mr. Chairman. I'm sorry I was off without you realizing it when you were introducing the Chief of Staff.
Right.
I just came back, so I didn't have the opportunity to the questions at all. Yes, I was off.
Right. Right. Okay. What I can do? Are you still there, Honorable? What's the Honorable now? Okay, we can come back to that question. So, I will hand over now to my ambassador, J.K. Adebola, to call on the other host. Thank you, Ambassador J.K. Adebola.
Okay. Oh, thank you so very much, Ahadi. I think I'll probably advise the other two people who spoke earlier to put up their hands again so that they can ask their question again after this. But in the meantime, we just have to be moving forward. Now we will be reducing the time given to participants to 1 minute because we've got loads of hands up, and we will be closing exactly at 4 o'clock. So, but we want to give as many people as possible a chance to be able to ask their questions. So please make your questions very, very brief. I know the last person who spoke was Honorable Nuruddin from Gambia. So if you can come back again, we'll give you the floor to ask your question again. The other person, I'm not sure who that was again, but I'm sure he knows who he is. But again, like we discussed earlier on, we've always been saying it. If you want us to give you the floor to speak on this program, please join with your name, because we want to know whom we are giving the floor to, because we have high valued VVIP guests on our program, and we want to know whom we are giving the floor to speak. So the system has had to take down some hands now because of that, because they joined not with their name, but with the name of their devices or whatever, and our system does not allow that. So please, I'm begging you, if you want to participate in this program, make sure, because we have to be very, very strict with our rules, make sure you join with your name. Thank you so very much. So let me go quickly I'll call three people now so that our special guests can then answer the question. The first person I'm going to call will be Somina Green. Somina Green, you have the floor now. Larry Dinadu, please be ready, and Adedeji A, two should be ready. Somina Green, I've asked you to unmute now. Please unmute yourself quickly. You have 1 minute. 1 minute, please. Somina Green, are you still there? Okay, let's move quickly to Honorable Larry Dinadu. Honorable Larry Dinadu, you have the floor now. 1 minute, please. 1 minute. Just introduce yourself, tell us where you're calling from, and go straight to your question.
Hello, I hope you can hear me.
Yes, we can hear you loud and clear.
Good afternoon. I'm Honorable Larry Dinadu. I'm a renewed Hope ambassador.
Okay, where are you calling from?
I thank our guest for the elaborate explanation he's been giving us.
Where are you calling from, sir? Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Ibadan.
Okay, thank you very much. Go ahead.
Yes, sir. I was just wondering when he was explaining earlier that the protection of our local industry, because there is a madam that spoke earlier, I think Mrs. Andy, the protection of our local industry is very important. And the man that actually called from Gambia, the honorable that called for Gambia too, the protection of our local industry is very important. And I think these are issues we can discuss at the bilateral diplomatic level, since we have our ambassador here, because we can actually place some ban on some of our products that we want to protect at home locally. And we can equally explain to the Chinese authority why we are doing this. So I will appeal for discussion at diplomatic level to straighten out these areas, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you so very much for that short question. Before I call the other person, we have our grand patron just entered the conference, and I cannot help but introduce him to the house, to Nigerians across the globe. We have Honorable Batunde Ogala, is the chief counsel to Mr. President, no less, and he's our grand patron as well. So he too, like Honorable Right Honorable Fembada Biamila, is always coming on our program to give us support and to give support to our special guests. So thank you so very much, sir. I don't know, maybe if you'd like to say one or two things before we continue with this program, sir. Let me try and give him the floor to speak. Just give me a second. Where is he? Okay. Gala. Oh, has it dropped off again? Oh, Lord, please, no. Okay, yeah. Okay, you can unmute, sir. You can unmute yourself, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you, sir. Yes, we can hear you, sir. You have the floor now.
All right. Good afternoon, Your Excellency, my General.
Afternoon, son. How are you?
General, it's nice to connect with you here.
Yes, it's been a while. Although
hello?
Hello? It's been a while, yes. Yeah.
Yes. And congratulations on your appointment and formal resumption of office.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
I have no doubt that you are a good pick for the job.
Thank you.
Your experience and knowledge.
Thank you.
Team and our contributors, listeners this afternoon, we just once again commend you for you said that this or more since the top this and to bring if I call him a big like General Dambazau in a fish, it's almost like bringing so again I would thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you so very much, sir. Honorable Batunde Ogala, our grand patron. Now let's go quickly to. I'm just going to call Adedeji.
I'm still on. Have you cut me off?
Okay. Sorry. Apologies.
So, I was just thanking the ambassador for heeding our invitation and I'm sure it will be at some short notice. That we have representation. It's my belief that this tenure will bring some good tidings to this country, improve relations with the Republic of China. Like somebody has just said, if I know him well, he's a listener who talks, he doesn't talk much, but he does what he has to do. And I have no doubt that at the end of his tenure, the relationship between Nigeria and China would continue to grow and grow and grow and be better improved. And like I said, I also thank you and commend you, the organizers, for consistently doing work, especially from the program. And is at their cost, and that's why Debola
Looks like we've lost him.
Yeah. Honorable Ogala, I don't know if you're hearing me. The network is a bit funny. I think maybe that was why I had to interject earlier because we couldn't hear you anymore. And the same thing is happening again now. I guess maybe I may have to give you the floor again later on, so that we can just move on with the program. Perhaps I don't know. Maybe it's got something to do with your gadgets, but definitely I will call you again later on, sir. Thank you so very much for always being there for us. We appreciate your presence always. So I'm just going to call two more people quickly now in a quick succession so that we can get as many people as possible in, because we've got only 23 minutes to go now. So I'm going to call Adedeji first, then I'll call John Jumbo, then I'll yield the floor to our special guest. So Adedeji, you have the floor now. Please, 1 minute. Just tell us who you are, where you're calling from, and go straight to your question. Thank you very much.
Good evening. Good evening, everybody, and congratulations to our ambassador on the appointment. My name is Adedeji. I'm based in Abuja, Nigeria. I work with Nigeria-China Strategic Partnership. In kind of an answer to the man from Daikon's question, from the Nigeria side, we try to do a little bit of facilitation of projects and coordination between Nigeria and China. But my question to the ambassador is, from your view, how do you think that Nigeria can get additional access to some of the FOCAC funding or FOCAC projects as delineated from the 2024 FOCAC meeting in Beijing? And secondly, how do you think we can increase coordination with NDRC of China? Thank you so much. That's my question.
Thank you very much, Honorable Adidi, for that short question. John Jumbo, you have the floor now. 1 minute, please. You can unmute yourself now, sir.
Leader, sir, I greet you, sir, especially.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Can you hear me, sir?
Yes, loud and clear.
I greet you especially, and I want to encourage your spirit and the effort you have been putting so far to put this house together.
Thank you.
I am John Jumbo. I'm calling from River State.
Thank you.
So the area I want to talk about, what the ambassador have said so far, indeed, is a good one, and it's a fact and factuals that can stand the test of time. But the area I want to contribute to is the possibility of those of us in the grassroots, how we can be part of this good thing that is happening right now in our country. Considering the fact that we may not be opportune to be in UK, to be in China and other parts, but at least in our little area, how can we equally be carried along? Because we are the final mobilizers in the activities that will soon forthcoming, which is by next year election. So it is according to the energy we have or the strength that we can equally drag others to believe on the cause that we are standing for today. So I just want to make a contribution that you use a good office and consider how does we in the grassroots can be part of this good work our president is doing. Thank you very much, sir. From River State.
Okay, thank you so very much. I'll yield the floor now to our special guest to respond to those questions.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. First, if the Chief of Staff is still there, sorry, I was cut off when you were being introduced.
He's still here, sir. He's still very much here.
Yes. So okay, it's nice to know that you're here. It's a long time too. The first question, I think it's a contribution from Larry. The issue of protection of local industry and of course this is something that it's part of the. This is something that is part of the bilateral discussions, and like I mentioned, that the whole idea of comprehensive strategic partnership covers this, and one of the things that result from that partnership is the intergovernmental committee, which was set up between His Excellency President Ahmed Bola Tinubu and Xi Jinping, the President of China, when he visited in 2024. And that intergovernmental committee covers these areas of political, diplomatic, trade, defense, security, and so on and so forth. And within this intergovernmental committee, there are subcommittees that cover these areas. As a matter of fact, we just met at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs when the permanent secretary of Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Abuja, visited this week, and I accompanied him to the Minister of Foreign Affairs, where we met with the Minister of Foreign Affairs here, and we discussed, as a prelude for the next intergovernmental committee meeting. So these issues come up, and we do mention them. But of course, as you know, that the implementation of certain policies have to be carried out by certain institutions, agencies, ministries, and departments in Nigeria. And of course, the issue of protection of local industry, is a matter that we hear what we do in terms of, to verify, identify, verify, and certify, companies from China going into business in Nigeria. And we also relate, that closely with the Chinese ambassador that is in Abuja. And of course, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and other relevant ministries, in this case, like Trade and Commerce in China. So we ensure that this is part of the discussion, and to ensure that we mention that they should be adhered to. Like I mentioned, that if you are in a relationship with a partner, if you allow gaps in those relationships, the partner will try to explore. And I believe that this is what we should focus our attention. China will not come to protect our interests. We are to protect our interests based on that relationship. This is how it works in reality. And I believe that with President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, who mentioned, recently that Nigeria will no longer be a country for exporting raw materials. Nigeria will be a country of production, manufacturing, and that is what it should be. And in doing that, we'll be able to reduce the number of goods coming in from China as finished products. By the way, they have the technology. Like I mentioned, they should come, establish industries. We have the resources which they require. See, as simple as sesame seeds, sesame seeds, they require it so much. So we can encourage our farmers to produce sesame seeds. Then we can send sesame seeds to them. We can process it in Nigeria and send it to them. So it's very important that we do everything to protect our interests. And the protection of local industry is our responsibility, not the responsibility of China. It's our responsibility. And there are MDAs, there are agencies that are assigned to do that. We must make sure they do that. So I think this is very important, it's very clear. In terms of discussion at bilateral meetings, we do that. When we go to discuss, we discuss issues that will protect our... China, for instance, emphasized on one China policy. I give an example. We also have, emphasized that, look, we have renewed hope agenda, which we want China to support. We also have, we are focusing our attention of Nigeria being a permanent member of the United Nations Security Council. We also want China to support that because China is a member of that council. So this is a win-win situation. As long as we don't follow this, look at it from that, then we allow the relationship to be skewed against us. So this is my answer to that. Protection of local industry is our responsibility. We must do it. We have our rules, we have our regulations, we must be able to do it. And one way to do it is to ensure that things are produced in Nigeria so that we reduce the importation of those goods into our country. The second issue from Adedeji has to do with, I think, funding of FOCAC. Currently, there are, I think, about quite a number of projects that are being funded by China in Nigeria. Funded, is relatively, in terms of maybe grant, in terms of loan, in terms of things like that. But there are quite a number of projects, like the railways, for instance, in terms of transportation, like the Lekki Free Zone, and so on and so forth. So there are issues, projects being funded, which have not been completed. And I believe that we should focus our attention on completing those projects before we even start opening room for others. And I believe that China is open in terms of ensuring that which will also take advantage of this, like other countries, to ensure that we have maximum benefit from this FOCAC relationship. Then to John Jumbo, yes, the possibility of grassroots to be part of the benefits in this relationship, certainly. There is the case issue of people-to-people exchanges in this relationship. And of course, too, is all part of the comprehensive strategic partnership. The people-to-people exchanges are there. We emphasize that China, because of what they are benefiting to, and also as part of the CSR, that is this company social responsibility or something, corporate social responsibility, CSR, that companies must be able to ensure that they contribute to communities, particularly communities they have certain projects, to ensure that, for instance, if the community requires electricity, schools, clinics, and so on and so forth. This will be the kind of benefits that the grassroots are. And also part of it is that they give training They provide training, free training. I know also it's a way of gaining soft power. But of course, we take advantage of it also to improve, the capacity, our human capacity. So they provide scholarship for training. My coming here, I've received up to about 5 groups of people from Nigeria that come here for 2-week training, 1-week training, 3 weeks training. This training are beneficial and they cover various sectors: agriculture, trade, finance, various sectors. So this is a way that this benefits will flow. But the most important benefit, I believe, is in agriculture. In the agriculture, if we can, revitalize our agricultural system, so that because it's the mainstay of our economy, and most people in the rural settlements also, I tell them that more beyond having large-scale farming, huge agricultural equipment, they should provide equipment for the grassroots. The equipments that are handheld, equipment that are small, so that we can go beyond the use of hoes, these traditional means of farming, and so on and so forth. So these are some of the things we do emphasize too, and so I believe that there is quite a lot we can do to benefit our people at the grassroots. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you so very much for that, sir. We've still got a lot of hands up, but then we've got only 8 minutes to go. And like I said at the beginning, we will be closing exactly 4 on the dot. What I'll then do is I will give 3 people the floor to speak. You have 1 minute each. If by the time our special guests responded to all of this, if we still have time, I will call other people, maybe 1, 2, or 2 more. If not, then I'm afraid that will be where we'll be drawing the curtains, because like I said, we don't want to belabor our special guests. Our 2 hours will always be 2 hours. So for those of us who still have our hands up, if you can easily go to the chat room to lay down your questions, which we will forward to our special guest. So long as you put your email address on it, when he responds, we will forward it back to you. So thank you so very much for being part of this. Let me quickly go to Kabiru Sulaiman. Kabiru Sulaiman, you have the floor now. Kabiru, are you there?
Is Elite Daikon? I think you.
No,
Is Elite Daikon? I was on the.
No, you've spoken before, sir. Sorry, let's give the floor to other people, please. I'm really sorry.
Honorable Minister was not online when I asked the question. So you
The
told
what?
us to raise up our hands again. The honorable was not online when I asked the question.
Okay,
So
I will call you. I have other people in front of you. I will call other people then now. I will give you the chance to speak as well. Sorry about that. Yeah. Salisu Shuaibu, you have the floor now. Then Dosumui Bokun, then I'll come to you, Daikon Ellis. Salisu Shuaibu, you have the floor now. Can you please unmute yourself?
Yes.
1 minute, please. 1 minute, please.
Good afternoon, Mr. Chair.
Afternoon, yeah.
Good afternoon, Mr. Chairman. My question is good afternoon, Ambassador Abdulrahman Bele Dambazau, for this insightful presentation.
Good afternoon.
My name is Salis Shaibu, PhD student from Kano State, Nigeria.
Thank you.
China is a home to diverse ethnic groups, language, and cultures. Yet it has maintained national cohesion and achieved remarkable economic development. What key lesson can Nigeria, with its diversity, can learn from China's experience to promote unity, inclusiveness, governance, and sustainable development? Thank you, sir.
Thank you so very much for that short, sharp question. Dosumu Iboku, you have the floor now. Dosumu Iboku, please unmute yourself. 1 minute, please, quickly.
Yeah, good afternoon, Taz.
Afternoon.
I want to appreciate the presence of the Right Honorable Bajabi Amila. My name is Dosumu, Prince Dosumu from Lagos. And I appreciate the Right Honorable and Chief of Staff to the President, who is my brother from Lagos, Quick one, sir. I want to talk about the insecurity in Nigeria, and it has to do in respect with the Chinese influx in Nigeria, who basically over time now, over years, has constituted a lot of security threats in terms of illegal mining, arms proliferation, cyber crime, security, and so many things that over time we've seen the Chinese people engaging themselves in Nigeria. I want the ambassador to please help us look into this. So many times we see on news and we heard that Chinese are involved in illicit drugs. So many crimes that have been committed by the Chinese people in Nigeria. I want the ambassador to please look at this as a very pertinent thing, irrespective of trade relations with them. They come in here and they do all manners of illicit things, illegal things, and so that should be checked. Thank you so much.
Thank you so very much. Okay, let's go to Daikon Elite now. Daikon Elite, you have the floor quickly. 1 minute. Daikon Elite, please unmute.
All right, thank you very much. All right,
Yes.
so thank you once again. My question is just a contribution and also in a way to also ask a question. So Daikon Elite, we do a lot of procurement for Nigerian Armed Forces from China for firearms, ammunition, drones, and what have you for the armed forces. Over the years, we realized that the Chinese companies we buy from the OEMs want us to keep buying. When we discussed technology transfer with them, we've signed several MOUs with them. When it comes to implementations, we realize that it's either they are giving one excuse or the other. I was in China a few months ago. I'm currently in Dubai, calling from Dubai. My name is David Adesanya. I'm the GMD for Elite Group Daikon. I realized that they always give us excuses when it comes to transfer technology. We have all the facilities ready, a warehouse is ready. What we need from them is for them to just sign an MOU with us where we'll be able to produce locally. Our mandate is to see how we can bring Nigerian first, make sure whatever we are buying from China can also be recreated here in Nigeria. But I realize that all these efforts are just not being implemented. So, sir, is there any way the embassy can also support just beyond procuring? How can Nigerian companies acquire full transport technology from Chinese companies through the embassy? Thank you, sir.
Thank you so very much for that. Let me just sneak in one more, if a special guest will permit me. Isaac Udotong, I'm afraid I won't be able to give you the floor because you've spoken before. So the last but not the least, I'm going to call now will be Honorable Fako. You have 1 minute, please, to say your question so that then we can then wrap this up. Thank you so very much. Please unmute yourself, Honorable Fako. Once again, apologies to Isaac Udotong. We just want to give people who have not spoken before the chance to be able to speak. So thank you so very much. Honorable Fako, you have the floor now.
Okay, sir. Hello, sir. Can you hear me, sir?
Yes, loud and clear.
Network has been very bad. I want to thank our ambassador, and a lot of questions has been asked. Ambassador Debola, you are doing a very good job, and I'm very sure everybody is proud of you. You are doing a selfless service. You are not being paid for what you are doing. You are bringing our leaders right down to the grassroots. Like I said to a lot of my audience, these people, imagine how can you meet ambassador on the road and talk to him? But yeah, one-on-one, you have the access without paying any couple. What I want to ask, can you please ask him, can we win the war on terrorists and Boko Haram? Is it winnable? That's all.
Okay. Thank you so very much for that question. So I'll use the floor to our special guest now. But like I said earlier on, we won't be taking any more questions now because it is exactly 1 minute to 4 o'clock. So by 4 o'clock, as soon as it finishes, that'll be the end of it. So anybody who has any more questions, please go to the chat room and put it down with your email address so that when we put it to our special guest, we'll be able to respond and we'll forward it to you. Thank you so very much and God bless you. Honorable Ambassador, you have the floor now, sir.
Thank you very much, Chairman. Let me start with the first. I think I've answered the first question during the introduction. Probably Salisu was not there. In terms of what Nigeria can learn from the management of diversity in China, which I mentioned that China has over 50 ethnic groups and over 300 dialects. Yet you don't see that in the open. You cannot see it at all. And I said that that is something we must learn, because in Nigeria, people look at issues from primordial sentiments in terms of either religion or ethnicity. And it pulls us back. It doesn't allow us to move forward. So this is an area we must be able to look at and learn. And the best way to do it is to be able to, look at issues. Nigerians must stop looking at issues from that angle. And I think there has to be quite a lot of awareness, and probably the National Orientation Agency will have a lot to do. And also our elites, the elites in Nigeria, with our religious elite, with our political elite, with our business elite, and so on and so forth, have also a role to play, because some of these, issues are issues of concern to everybody. And we need to do that. Don't forget the fact that Nigeria is about 70% young in terms of population. And most of our youth, you find them even in social media engaged in all these issues of ethnicity and religion. So there's a lot we can learn from there. The other issues of insecurity in Nigeria, which I think Dosumu ties that that the Chinese presence and maybe use drug trafficking and so on and so forth. You see, we have laws in Nigeria, and what is required is for us to enforce those laws. Here in China, I tell you that if you violate a law, you'll be punished. No, there will be no delay. Once you are taken to court, there is no delay. They will give you some. We have a couple of even our students, Nigerian students. I give you an example. A Nigerian student sent his mother. His mother sent money to him through, I think, to his account, through one of these Beirut exchange, not knowing that the source of that money, you send it in yuan, I believe. No money, the source of that yuan was questionable. And they took them to court. They are among these people who were sponsored, students sponsored by CCNC on this railway issue for degree courses. And there are 18 of them. 16 of them were immediately returned home for issue of money laundering. It's a simple issue of, not following the process of, sending money, not following the process. But they were immediately sent back home, 16 of them. 2 of them, unfortunately, probably because of the gravity of their offense, were, charged to court and sentenced to 2 years imprisonment. After their imprisonment, they were deported. So I believe that we should be able to enforce our laws. China will not come to Nigeria to enforce its laws. We are to do it. We have these laws. We must enforce them. And we be able to monitor the activities of not just Chinese, anybody who comes in as a foreigner in Nigeria, we should be able to monitor him. Here in China, everybody has a number. Anywhere you go, they take note of that. They know where you go. If you commit any or violate any law, they can pick you, within, hours they'll pick you. So I think it's something that we must do. And of course, too, here in the embassy, we do quite a lot in terms of, ensuring that we don't have people of questionable character coming in. But one thing, too, that is happening, too, now is that because of this policy of e-visa, a lot of these people get visa not through the embassy. So we don't know them, that they've gotten visa. We don't know when they leave. The e-visa is very important, but we must be able to verify people. The embassy is not involved in this issue of visa. And I think this is something that we would have discussed this with the PAMSEC when he came in this week. I've also said that it's something that we must be able to make a presentation to look at this issue and to see the national security implications of this issue, this process, and to ensure that, we want the Chinese to come in to invest, but we must do it properly. Quite a lot of them come in through e-visa, we don't know in the embassy. But those we know who come in, we make sure that we follow the system of verification and ensure that they are genuine. And we also get contact from business institutions, organizations, and even individuals that would require partnership with business people in China. We do that matchmaking and ensure that we get genuine businessmen to matchmake. That's far we can go. For DICON Elite, the issue of the OEMs, that they don't want technology transfer because for whatever reason, yes. I think there are various ways we can transfer technology. There are various ways. We can buy equipment, split it, do reverse engineering. This is the most common and is done all over the world. Most nations do that. Even China, that is how they started, and they still do it. So reverse engineering, that is the most common. The other issue, yes, is in terms of the MOUs. And I believe that this MOU you sign with OEMs, you as a contractor, they may not respect it. I believe you should be able to involve the embassy in this. You should be able to involve the government in this so that the Ministry of Trade should be able to know there are agencies that also have the responsibility of ensuring that this trade relationship is done properly. So don't do it on your own. You should be able to involve the embassy. But like I said, this strategic partnership, comprehensive strategic partnership, part of what we are pursuing is transfer of technology from various sectors into Nigeria, and we are on it. The intergovernmental committee meeting coming up, the next second one coming up, I'm sure will address this issue properly. Thank you very much. Then the last one from Honorable Fako. Can we win the war on terrorism and insurgency? Yes, we can. Why not? Just like any other war, like First World War, like Second World War, every war has a beginning, also has an end. We can. But I want to say that the issue of terrorism and insurgency in Nigeria has a wider scope than we are looking at. I've said this from 2014. I've mentioned this, that to deal with this issue of insecurity, it requires partnership. And this is also part of what we are looking at here in China. But it requires partnership in the sense that is a regional issue. In the regional issue in the sense that it involves cross-border activities from, the Sahel, from our immediate neighbors, from our, from countries in East Africa, Central Africa, from countries West Africa. It requires regional partnership, and we need to, look at this with our immediate neighbors. I give you an example. When Niger pulled out, Niger, Mali, and Burkina Faso pulled out of ECOWAS, that created a gap between, if you know the history of Limtum Goma, the triangle boundary, the triangle borders between these three countries. That is where, has heavy concentration of insurgents. Now, that gap is now open. And this is why they are moving, through Benin, through Togo, and most of the impact we're getting from western part from Sokoto to Badagry is because of that. Also, when Niger pulled out of Sector 3 of the Multinational Joint Task Force, it left a gap. And that gap is what, the insurgents are exploring. So we need to look at it from bilateral angle, look at how we can be able to relate bilaterally. Forget about ECOWAS on this, because it is our security we're talking of. So we can look at it from bilateral relationship and deal with it. Apart from that, we must engage, international community. And in terms of training, in terms of the government is doing that, even right now. And this is part of what we're even focusing in Nigeria. When the president appointed me, called me to tell me he's appointing me to ambassador in China, it's part of the strategic thinking in terms of our partnership with China to deal with this situation. That's why I'm here. So I believe that all efforts are on. So the war on terrorism is winnable. We'll be able to look at, re-strategize, look at it from a wider angle. It's not issue of Nigeria. This thing started in Northeast. Today it's in Oyo State, and so on and so forth. It's in Niger State. It's in Sokoto State. It's in Kaduna State. We have to look at it from a wider angle. Lastly, I want to mention that we have to find a way to deal with, and we cannot do this alone, deal with the proliferation of firearms and drugs. These two things are factors that give these criminals, terrorists, the strength, the heartlessness to do what they do. So we need to look at that. Of 40 million firearms in the hands of non-state actors in the whole of Sahel, and about 11 million of those weapons are within the Lake Chad region and Nigeria. So this is alarming. So to clean this mess, we have to involve, the international community. The UN organization, Office of UNODC of Drugs and Crime, UN Office of Drugs and Crime, for instance. We must involve other countries to deal with this, because we require the technology, we require the training. Of course, even manpower within we still require. And of course, by and large, we need to ensure that there is coordination within our security agencies. There is collaboration, there is cooperation within their security agencies, so that we don't allow agencies to work in silos. And this coordination is very important. This is why I want to emphasize this. But I want to guarantee you that it's winnable, and we will win it. Thank you very much.
Thank you so very much, sir, especially for the last bit where you you assuring the country, because it shows that your military background plays a part in your response to that questioning. This is where we draw the curtains. It's been 2 hours, 15 minutes, 16 minutes of a very deep discussion with our special guest. So thank you so very much, sir, for finding the time out of your busy schedule. I call it crazy schedule because I know how hard it is, to be able to bring you guys here. For those of us who are contacting you, we know how crazy your schedule is always is. So that is why, in case for those who have their hands up every time, and I say we don't want to take more questions, that's the reason, because it is hard to bring them here. And I think it is not fair after giving us their 2 hours for us to belabor them again. I know you guys have a lot of questions to ask, but then rules are rules. So please bear with us. Like I said earlier on, you can drop your questions in the chat room with your email address. We will pass it on to our special guest, who will then respond, and we will pass it on to you. So thank you so much again. Again, our regards go to your family, because I know they missed you for the last 2 hours that you've been with us now, and it's not easy. Today being Saturday. So thank you so very much. So I don't know, maybe you still have maybe a last minute remarks, either for Nigerians across the world, or maybe even us, the organizers, maybe in 2 minutes.
Yes, I just want to use this opportunity to thank you for having me on this program, and also to say that we are here, we are not doing anybody favor. We are here to carry out an assignment. And if there's anything, either in terms of contribution to make our work much better or easier, as the case may be, and if there is anything you want us to do, either to facilitate or to assist in something, please let us do. We're here 24/7. You can wake me from sleep. I have no problem with that. And please, we're here for Nigeria and Nigerians, and we're here to protect the interests of Nigeria and Nigerians. Thank you very much.
Oh, thank you so very much. That's so refreshing to hear a whole ambassador say you can wake him up at night. But that is not to say we should abuse that. Let's put decorum to it. Yes, it shows he's accessible, but then don't let us abuse it. Please, Nigerians from across the world, let us abide by I'm struggling to find the right word to do now, but just let's exercise decorum in responding or in asking questions regarding what we want the embassy to do for us in China. Thank you so very much, sir, and God bless you. You have no idea how happy I am for you to be able to spend these 2 hours with us. It's been so enlightening, and I believe Nigerians across the world are as blessed as I am with some of the. There are too many takeaways which I don't want to belabor us with. I will be talking about that tomorrow in my report. So thank you so very much, and God bless you. And
thank you.
Before we go, yes, sir. Before we go, like I said earlier, I think I'll probably have to give the floor to our grand patron because towards the end of his speech, there was network problems. So I don't know if Honorable Babatunde Ogala is still around with us. Oh gosh, it looks like the network has played its funny part again. Okay, we were able to catch some of the things that he said. Again, he's in support of our special guest for being here, because that is one of the reasons why he came anyway, to show support to our special guest, and for that we remain ever so grateful. And like I said earlier on, I introduced the Chief of Staff to the President, the Right Honorable Femi Gbadabiamila. I will say it, and I mean it by with every fiber in my being. They don't come any bigger than that unless you are the President yourself. So, Right Honorable Femi Gbadabiamila, CFR, thank you so very much for always coming on our show to support our special guests. We really appreciate it, and we don't take that for granted in any way, shape, or form. Thank you so very much, and may God continue to bless you, sir, and this government, because this government is doing a lot for this country, and I think Nigerians are beginning to realize it now that this government mean well for us, and they have the future of this country at heart, and that is why they are doing what they are doing, even though some of the policies seems to be a bit hard on us. But then with perseverance now, we're beginning to see that it is all meant for good for the country. Thank you so very much. And other VVIPs that has been on this program has been Isaac Udotong. Thank you so very much. Engineer Olabode Jones Ajimijere from Russia. Thank you so very much. Dr. Sylvia Ngozi Okoro from Abuja. Thank you very much for being part of it. Honorable Fako from Ibadan. And I'm not sure whether you've yapped about to Nigeria, but I know you are one of us here. But right now you are in Nigeria. Thank you so very much for being part of it again. Honorable Nuruddin from Gambia. Thank you so very much. Prince Joseph Fadele, has been a while. He's from the UK here. Thank you so very much for being part of this conference today. Prince Dr. Adewale Akinjele, thank you very much. Honorable Gani Balogun from Nigeria, thank you very much. Engineer Patrick Obadokun from Manchester, thank you for being part of this. Emmanuel Obaseki Esquire, if that is who I know, the solicitors from UK here, thank you so very much for being part of this program as well. Dr. Adetutu Olukoya, thank you very much. Lady Karine, thank you very much for that. Hajia Kairat Animashaw Adiboye from USA, thank you so very much. And Ambassador Lady Marlene from the UK here. Thank you all for being part of this program. Your presence at our weekly, when people ask me, how do you do it every week? It is because of you, our leaders, who are always supporting us. Because of your support, that is why we find the energy to keep going week in, week out. It's not easy, but then with you behind us, we can't have it any other way. So that's why we keep doing it. Thank you so very much. So this is like I said earlier, this is where we draw the curtain. So I'm going to give the floor to Hajia Rekia Bello Abakar to give us the closing remarks. Hajia Bello Abakar, you have the floor now.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Ladies and gentlemen, this is where we come to the end of today's episode. Thank you to our special guests, Bara Denkano, General Abdulrahman Bello Dambazau, the Nigerian ambassador to China, for your comprehensive and enlightening interactive session. Thank you also to our participants who joined us from across the globe. Join us again next time for another exciting episode. On behalf of the Renewed Hope Global Virtual Town Hall Conference team, have a lovely weekend. Enjoy the rest of the weekend. God bless Nigeria.
Thank you very much, Hadia, for that. Thank you so much. We draw the curtains here, but again, for the last time again, let me say a huge thank you to Chief of Staff to the President, Right Honorable Femi Gbadabiamila. I'm just hoping someday, sir, you'll be able to speak to us, maybe even just for 1 second, just to say hello to Nigerians across the globe. I think that will gladden the heart of so many Nigerians. Thank you so very much for always being there for us. It's been a pleasure having you around. And again, thank you so much for Lieutenant General Dambazau. Thank you so very much for the last 2.5 hours you've been with us. It's been a pleasure having you around. God bless you. And to all Nigerians across the world joining us every week, please, we're coming back again next Saturday with another VVIP. Maybe in the next few hours, we will be posting the details. So stay tuned and please be back next Saturday. We will be here to bring you another VVIP who will then engage with us on another topical issue that borders on Nigeria and its progress. Thank you and God bless you.
Okay.
I've got a willingness to contribute positively to the well-being of my fellow citizen. As a Nigerian, I'm a provider, helper, listen to me. I try to listen to you. I'm a born winner and Nigerian security. As a Nigerian, I'm a real Nigerian. Born Nigerian, a resilient Nigerian. I live by the citizen's code. I'm a real Nigerian, accountable Nigerian, a caring Nigerian. I live by the citizen's code.
Green, white, green, oh I pledge my dear country. I'm embodied with observance and courtesy. There is nothing in this world above me, if not be God. Pushing against all odds till my goals are attained. Nigerian spirit, Nigerian dream. Nigerian spirit, Nigerian dream. I know if you forget Nigerian promise to
I am reliable. Oh, I know I'm responsible for my actions. I am strong, healthy, Can't you see I am blessed? I'm a real Nigerian, born Nigerian, a resilient Nigerian. I live by the citizens' code. I'm a real Nigerian, accountable Nigerian, a caring Nigerian. I live by the citizens' code. I'm a real Nigerian, born Nigerian, a resilient Nigerian. I live by the citizens' code. I'm a real Nigerian, accountable Nigerian, a caring Nigerian. I live by the citizens' code. I'm a real Nigerian, accountable Nigerian, a caring Nigerian. I live by the citizens' code. I'm a real Nigerian, accountable Nigerian, a caring Nigerian. I live by the citizens' code.
Moving Nigeria to greatness.
Brought to you by the National Orientation Agency, NOA.
To Nigeria, where the Electoral Commission has declared Bola Tinubu president.
In the early hours on Wednesday, Bola Tinubu had been declared the winner of this election.
Of the APC, having satisfied the requirements of the law, is hereby declared the winner and is returned elected.
Day one, hit the ground running.
From day one, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu took some far-reaching decisions.
A dúpẹ́ torí pé Ọlọ́run jẹ́ kí a wà nínú ìjọba àwa ara wa. Inú mi dùn tí kì í ṣe pé bóyá àwọn ológun ló ń darí wa lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́ báyìí. Àgbọ̀nra wa yé. Ṣùgbọ́n nǹkan tí mo kàn wò ó yẹ kí n sọ tó ń dùn wá gan ni pé ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ àwa